Hey, truck to the plane, to the truck to the hotel lobby. Me, I go through underground garages, presidential suite on deposit.
Good morning, lovers, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, hi baby, how you do? And if you're a new subscriber, hi love, thank you for tuning in. Okay guys, so I'm back with another one. This is basically part 2 of my last story time that I did, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, before I get into it, I'm going to make like a quick recap on the last story I made. So Richard is the foreign guy I'm in a relationship with, right? Then there's Bali. Bali is the girl that came late, and we clicked and became friends after my roomie left. She was the roomie. She was my second roomie after the first one left, which was Tepi, right? So Tepi left, then Bali came, and she became my roomie after like a few couple of months. Then Gile is Bali's ex-roommate, basically the original roommate she had when she first came in. But then she moved in with me. You get. So yeah, I want you to understand that I am not using real names. That's why I'm explaining all these characters. Today I'm drinking coffee, so it's not gonna get cold anytime, so at least I can relax while telling the story, right? Okay, let's get into it. All right, so back in 2017, so this is where our relationship is getting a bit serious now, me and Richard. And this is where my friendship with Bali is a bit rocky because of she doesn't want me to be with Richard. And now that I'm in a relationship with Richard, I'm spending time with Richard a lot. You know, I'm not spending time in the house. Basically every Monday I'd pack a bag and go to Richard's place, then maybe come on Thursday, or that's if I'm going home, you get. So normally I'd pack a bag on my parents would drop me off on a Sunday. Then Monday, later on, I pack a bag and go to Richard's. Then I come back on a Thursday. When I come back on a Thursday, I know that my parents are coming tomorrow. And I'm saying this, that's if maybe like I go home. So that's when I come back on Thursday. And sorry guys, I think I'm catching a cold, so something is just off with my throat. I had a running nose yesterday, so please don't mind my voice. Right? So so you see, like, I don't spend time with Bali. I only see Bali at school, or maybe when we decide that, friend, let's go out, let's do something nice, and later on I go back to my man's house, you know. So now this is where I'm experiencing being alone with him and spending time with him. You know, that situation where like, why did I allow myself to miss all this? You know, because I started enjoying him when I started spending time with him alone, without Bali, without Kile, and all the drama you get. There was still a bit of drama because I'd get like weird treatment when I come. Okay, when I decide that, you know what, I've been in this man house for like too long now, maybe like in a week. And I'd be like, okay, no, you know what, let me just go back to the commune because I feel like I'm just spending too much time with them. Maybe let me go like for a night or 2 days, and I go like sit there with Bale. Then okay, maybe on Friday he comes to pick me up. Okay, I'm not going home that weekend. Then I know maybe I'll come back on Wednesday, and you know, all that. So it was more like, wow, this is actually, it was amazing. It was really nice because we'd go out. He liked clothes. He'd like want me to be around, go shopping with him later on. Okay, so I don't eat Nigerian food, right? Or let me just say, I don't eat foreign food, right? And I never even took time to get myself used to eating them, or just try. And he cooks a lot. He prefers cooking. He doesn't like eating out, so he cooks a lot, because he doesn't eat our food, right? I wasn't even interested in knowing how to cook know how to cook that food, or how it tastes, and like that whole situation. I wasn't interested at all, right? So basically, when I'm in the house, we'd actually go shopping together. He'd buy his part of the groceries, and I buy my own part of the groceries, because I mean, like, I'm practically living with this guy, so if I'm going to spend time in your house, then I'm going to need my own stuff, because we don't eat the same food. And he didn't have a problem with it, you get. Although, like, a few people would think, but why can't you, but this sounds a bit, no, he understood. And I'm glad that he understood, and I'm okay when he doesn't eat our food, so he has to be okay that I don't eat their food, right? So okay, it became that whole thing where, like, we buying groceries together, we going out. When we go out, we basically going out clubbing, or we go out to eat. He never really used to order anything, right? He'd be like, no, just have a drink, you can eat. And that was weird, but well, then after I eat, we just stay there for like drinks and just have a good time, get back home. So yeah, man. And it was nice till it lost it. Honestly, I don't want to lie. It was nice till it lost it. Cause I don't know if he was getting too attached, or he was just showing his true colors. I don't know what was happening there. Because at some point, a few months down the line, and I'm speaking of, I think we 8 months in now at that point. We literally like 8 months in at that point. October, yes, it should be October. I will never remember. I'll never forget that day, actually. I will never forget that day. It was October the 12th. It was October the 12th. That night, I came back from a club with my friends. We used to go there every Thursday, but that's a story for another day. We used to go there every Thursday, because my friend was like in a situationship with a guy who was hoping training Thursdays at Cocoon. So we were basically there every Thursday, or maybe like if he'd invite us over. So on that Thursday, yeah, it was that Thursday, training Thursdays. So it has to be on a Thursday, because I remember the 12th, I think the 12th was on a Thursday, And that night, I remember, I was like, no, I'm going to go to the commune. Like, of course, to him, I say, I'm going to go home. So that's me going to the commune. Remember, he doesn't know that I live in a commune. I came here because of school. He just thinks that I live with my parents, and Bali is my older sister. And yeah, he didn't really ask much about Gile, because I think he saw him once, right? Okay, fine. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna go home tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, he was like, no, I'm not gonna accept that. You're gonna come home later on. If it costs me to come fetch you, then I'll come fetch you. I'm like, you don't need to come fetch me. I'll request, then I'll come there. He's like, cool. See, we cool, right? On the call, we cool. So okay, we have fun. Everything was amazing. It's always a nice day. Like, it's always fun. Very crazy, and a lot happens, but it's always fun. Okay. Then that night, I'm like to Bali, listen, I am not gonna come back home with you guys. And now I know I have to get into like an argument with Buddy that you only came today and you're going back already. You're not even gonna spend time with us. And I'm like, I'll talk with you tomorrow at school, because I cannot do this right now. All right. Now she gets mad that I'm leaving, and it's that whole situation. I still went back to my mans though. Cool. I get there. I knock, right? When I knock, he opens. Okay, hi baby. Hi, are you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm fine. cool. He's like, lock the door. Okay, I locked the door. Came in, sat down. I remember he called me into his room. Yeah, he called me into his room, and when I got in, he started shouting. Okay, like he's just started shouting out of nowhere. He's like, where did you go? Where have you been? Do you think this is the time to get home? You know, that whole situation. You know, at that point, I was just looking at him. In my mind, I'm like, who are you to tell me or to shout at me on what to do and what not to do? Whether I come late or not, I mean, come on now. You know, he's like, you're in a relationship. You should respect our relationship. Imagine now I'm allowing you come in at this time. What is that? What do you call that? And whatever. And now I'm laughing, you know, because now it's weird. This is the first time he's actually like mad at me like this. I'm literally laughing. I don't even, okay, I am laughing now because I'm thinking maybe he's not that serious, or you know, come on, I was still childish even at that point, at that time, you know. So I'm like, why are you shouting? Like, why are you so serious? Relax. I was out with my friends. He's like, and you think this is cool? You even laughing. Guys, he choked me, right? I remember, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. Actually, I'm going home. I'm requesting home. When I was about to go out, of the room, he pulled me, right, with my shirt. He pulled me with my shirt, and he turned me and pushed me. He pushed me on the wardrobe. And I looked at him, I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Are you gonna ask me that? Should I show you? Oh, guys, I am confused. I am so confused. Because like I'm tipsy and I don't know what's happening. Like in my mind, I'm like, what has gotten into you, dude? Like what's happening? You know? And now he chokes me. Bear in mind, Clay, guys, it's the short guy, right? The short, ugly guy. Yeah, that's him. That's Richard, right? So I think it was this short. Ne? He choked me. When he choked me, I pushed him. You know, like seeing him and just looking at him, he wasn't gonna hurt me this one. In my mind, I'm like, oh, he's not gonna hurt me. I will not allow that. When he choked me, okay, he choked me at that point, then I pushed him back. When I pushed him back, I tried getting out of the bedroom. He pulls me back again. Guys, I mean, he's pulling me with the loop of my jeans. Yeah, he pulls me with the loop of my jeans. Okay, now with that pressure, and I fell on my ass. I tried standing up. He put his leg here. He's like, I'll kill you, gotta try. He's like, I will kill you. I said try. And I looked at him. Guys, if I didn't shit my pants that time, he didn't hit me. Okay. He was violent, yes. He choked me. He was abusive. But at that time, yes, he didn't like slap me or kick me or whatever. He put his leg here and he said he'll kill me. And at that time, if I didn't shit my pants, I don't know what was going to happen. Because first of all, I'm scared. But in my mind, I'm like, I am not going to show you that I'm scared. I will not do that. Right? So I kept saying, try. Like, try. Like, do it. Do it if you want to. Kill me if you have to kill me. You know? And I just looked at him. And I know at that point, as much as I'm scared, as much as I am, I don't know, I was just scared for my life. But I'm like, I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give him that. Like, I am just going to be strong and do what I have to do. And I looked at him, he looked at me. Right? And he said, why are you doing this? I think, why am I doing this? Are you seriously going to ask me, why am I doing this? I go out. I want to spend time with my friends. I haven't seen my friends in a long time. Okay, fine. I do see them at school, but that's not enough. I'm like, you need to understand that you got me in a situation where I built a bond with these people. You got me with these people. I used to take them everywhere I go. Even when I have to meet you or when I have to spend time with you, they were there. So you can imagine how hard it is for me to be like spending time with you and have to be missing out on what my girls are doing. You know? Yes, I'm in a relationship. I wanted to be in this relationship. That's why sometimes I just sacrifice to be with you than to be out with my girls. But then the one time I have to go out and this is how you act, the one time I have to spend time with my girls, I'm not even coming back the next day. I came back the same day. And this is how you're going to act. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm leaving. He's like, where are you going? It's late. I said, I'll request. I remember at that point I called Bali. And I was like to Bali, girl, I don't know what just happened, but I want to come home. I'll let you know when I'm outside. Please open the gate for me. Because it was a remote gate, you know? So I had to make sure that when she opens the gate quickly and I come in, you know, because like my landlady is a nuisance. Like she'd be like, who's coming in at this time? And she was colored, you know, and it was a lot. It was a lot. Then he said, I'm not going to go anyway. And I requested, I showed him my phone. I said, look, I'm requesting, I'm going home. And at that point, I don't even want to tell him that, do me a favor. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't ever try to do anything with me, you know? Because now, I don't know if I told him that when I was with him, what was going to happen, you know? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hold my peace. I'm just going to go home. Give him that idea that I am mad. I just don't want to be in his space. That's what he was thinking. I'm gonna go home. When I get home, sleep in the morning, text him and tell him. Sorry guys. It's still hot. It's gonna burn me. Text him. Let me open it for a bit actually. Text him and then tell him where to get off. You get? And yes, he allowed me to leave. I left. When I left, I got home. I came in. Yo! Yeah, I cried. Hey! Look, I cried. I cried. For the first time in my life, I cried. It hurt. Yeah, like it hurt. Like it was painful. It hurt. Like I was crying. I remember I was crying. Like I couldn't stop crying. I was crying. Pali kept asking me what's going on. At that point, I don't even want to say anything. I just want to cry. Please allow me to cry and just go to sleep. And he's like, yo, friend, we'll talk in the morning. I cried, guys. I'm like, no, I'm not crying because of what he did. I'm crying because of who the hell does he think he is to choke me, to be abusive with me, to hold me like that, like, you know, that to just touch like that, like, who does he think he is, you know? And I've never been held like that. I've never been abused like that. Like, I have never. Because I remember the second time when he pulled me with my loop, when I fell, I bit myself, right? When I bit myself, so I was bruised a bit and it was purple inside here. So you'd think he hit me, right? Fine. Okay. In the morning, you know what? I don't even have the energy to text him or call him. I text my aunt, right? No, I didn't text my aunt. I'm lying. I didn't text my aunt. I texted my other friend from home. I'm like, you, wena, this weekend ke tla ko ntlong ke tla go bolela. okay, fine. I don't know, a gona bothata. Just let me know when you're home. Ke ra gona stress. Ka re a re ko nna, is it bad? Ke ra ga e bad yalo, mara ke tla go sendela snap. And I sent her a picture. I'm like, it's not that bad. But then when I go home like this, it's gonna be like, you know, because my aunt or my little sister didn't know I was in a relationship with a Nigerian guy. She said my aunt is a very smart woman. I mean, like, she's had her rest life, she's experienced a lot of things. You know, she's like, okay, she's been there. Let me just say, to keep things short, she's been there. She knows all these things. And the clubbing, the Santan life, you know, my videos, my like everything, my moves in jail, you know, because I was really a poster back then. I captured every moment, you know, and the car, the place, you know, that situation. She knew something was up, and she knew that Niger boy, you get like Niger boy, but I used to deny it all the damn time. I'm like, no, and she used to tell me that when, oh, Jonah Lily, Kare and Nix, and I used to deny it all the damn time. So basically, I was hiding my relationship from my aunt, my little sister, or like a lot of people, this side here at home, right? And she'd remind me, "Go it's when there's nothing wrong I'm doing. Right? Okay, back to the morning. Now I'm talking about the morning, right? Back to the morning. um After texting my friend, I I go on WhatsApp. I get a text. Hi babe. Hi babe. Hi babe. I'm like, I'm not gonna respond to this. When I got to school, he's like, I hope your day is good. I hope your day is good. So in my mind, I'm like, so this guy, after everything that happened yesterday, he's just gonna go on and act like everything is normal. Yo, ga ke tso ke tlwela shiti o go tsagalang fa o go ga teng ke senyana se se snack se ebile. I didn't respond. Ne? I didn't respond. I'm like, oh, straight wakaka. You get guy gets off for he calls, I decline it. He calls again, I decline it. He calls again, I decline it. Fine. Come back. When I come back, I'm like to my friends, guys, why can't we go out? Like, man. Bear in mind, as much as I'm acting and as much as I'm just, you know, it's here. I'm like, it's here that like this guy, I was starting to like this guy so much. Yes, you know, that's what it hurt. I was starting to like this guy so much. And this is what he does. So of course it's not gonna be like oh okay, moving on. No. Like, I'm still thinking about him. I spent a lot of time with this guy. I spent so much, guys. I practically lived with that guy. So you can imagine how things are right now and how I'm feeling. Besides what he did, but how I'm feeling. Yes, I don't want to be with him. I don't want him. I don't want a guy that's going to treat me like that. But, you know, I mean, it doesn't go overnight. I don't get over it overnight. Come on, it's normal. Fine. So I'm like, Bali, I don't know. Let's go to that place we were talking about. Now we know. Now we already know Rivonia Village. So I remember there was this place, Habley's Biblos Habley Lounge or something. Biblos Habley Lounge or something. And I'm like, let's go to that place, Biblos. He's like, yeah. That night it was karaoke night, I remember. They were having karaoke night. And she's like, okay, no, cool, let's go. We went, still, like, it was a vibe. We danced, it was nice. And when you walk through that passage on your right, there was a club. I think it was Hydro Boulevard or Hydro Boulevard. So Hydro Boulevard, Hydro on Boulevard. Something. There was that club. They, and we were like, okay, I was like, Tupali, you know what? We're gonna eat here, sing along, do all this night, listen to your karaoke sessions, and after that, we're gonna go to the club. Hi, but like, no, I want to stress, so cool. But now, as much as I wanted to go out, my mind wasn't there. And now he's also not stopping. Like, he's also like calling, he's like texting, he's doing all that, but then he is not apologizing. I think my problem was like, he's acting like everything is normal, because he's texting, babe, why are you not responding, babe? He's not even apologizing. That, okay, I get why you're mad, and I get why you're not saying anything. I'm sorry for what happened. It's like, can we talk? Can we please talk and just hear me out? If you don't want it, you don't want it. If you feel like you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, then it's okay. But just hear me out. Just hear me out. Because first of all, you are like a sweet person, a very understanding. He was so patient with me, so understanding, so loving. He's just so he's still dead until that moment where like everything just cleared off. Like, at that point, I'm not even thinking that anymore. Like, I'm thinking that you were this animal now. All, like, like, dead. Like, dead. Okay. He's not doing that. He's acting like everything is normal. I think I was just pissed at the fact that he's not apologizing. I don't get why you're not apologizing. You know what happened last night? Why are you acting like everything is okay? Just apologize for what happened last night. Maybe I'll respond to you. Maybe I'd want to see you and actually hear you out whole why. Why did you do that? Like, what makes you think that I want to be with someone like that? And what makes you think it's okay to do that to me? Fine. I'm like, I'm not gonna respond to this until he says something. But Balo was like to me, friend, I get the fact that you don't want to talk to him, you don't want to say anything to him, as much as Lena don't like that guy. But Luena it's also going to eat you up, because of now, you want him to apologize. You want him to say something. You want him to, like, tell you that he's sorry for what he did to you. So if you're not going to do anything about it, if you're not going to say anything about it, well, he's not saying anything. So chances are he's not going to say anything unless you say, why? Why did you do that? Why did you? Only then maybe he'll apologize. But in my mind, I'm like, why does he have to apologize when I have to tell him that I don't like what you... Why can't you just... You know what you did was wrong. Why me? So happy like, it's me again now. Wanting him to apologize. Why can't he apologize like for himself, on himself? So, cool. We had fun. I remember we didn't even get a chance to go to the hydro. I wasn't in the mood. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go home. I think I'm just gonna go home tomorrow. She's like, oh, okay. I think I'm also gonna go home. Actually, I was planning on going home because, I mean, I thought you were gonna be by your man's, so of course I was gonna go home. I'm like, yeah, no. Then I'm vying. All right. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow morning because they couldn't come today, which is the first. I'm just gonna go tomorrow morning and I just come back on Sunday. Cool. They come, we go back, sleep in the morning. I think my dad came around 9 o'clock because I was like, come as early as possible, because it's a Saturday. If it was a Friday, it was going to be normal, but now it's a Saturday. I already missed out on Friday night, and I'm just going to be there for like, what, a day? No. So you know what, I figured, why not come back on Monday afternoon, so I'll miss the Monday classes. That wasn't really a train smash. Fine. Right? Fine. Okay. I come back home. Bear in mind, I still have this like I'm a bit swollen and this it's a bit darkish, you know. You swear someone punched me, you know, because it's yeah, I looked funny, right? Oh, in my mind on my way home, my dad, my you know, parents are like ke thutse o toropo ke thutse eng o rena ke thutse fela. And I remember that time I said to my dad, I bumped a door because I wasn't aware that it's open. Cool. Like, oh, but it's not bad, but it's a fall. But in my mind, guys, in my mind on my way home, so I live at my grand's house, right? So normally my dad would drop me off at my grand's house. So this is where my aunt is, here at my grand's house. Fine. And my man, I'm like, yo, when I get home, I could say enough, she's gonna think exactly what happened, you know, you know, like, oh, he hit you, you know, that thing. And at that point, I can't say, no, I bumped it, you know. So in my mind, I'm thinking about, oh, fuck. He's gonna think like now I'm being abused and I'm allowing it. Sorry guys, my eyes are so itchy. He's gonna think now I'm being abused and I'm allowing it, and you know, I'm like, you know what? She wasn't there. I'm just gonna say whatever she say. I got there when I got to my grand's house. I'm like, hey, Batum, why did you come back today? Really? I'm like, yeah, a lot of things was happening yesterday. What happened to your lips? I'm like, my lips? Ke thutse. A go thutse fo. That's weird. How do you bump your lips like fo? That's weird. And not like here or here, but here. And I looked at her. I didn't respond. And she gave me a smirk. I remember later on we were here at the lounge here. I don't know what she was doing. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell her what happened. I'm gonna tell her what happened. And I'm just gonna come clean with like everything about my relationship and how it started, you know, whatever. Cool. I'm like, yo, like I want now. Richard. Ka ma ga tshwane le ba bangwe. Like ga tshwane le ba I know right. Like he's so chill. I'm like, you know, now oh how did Tabi? Ntwena. What if he does something? No, he's like a cool guy. Like he's normal. He's not that like those typical ones. She still didn't take it. Like she wasn't there. She wasn't even interested on what he's in or not. And she's like, oh, so he did this to you. I'm like, no, he just choked me and I bit myself when he was pulling me. And he's even abusive. And thing. That's not good, girl. That's not good. Yeah. At that moment, I'm like, am I being judged right now? Am I really being judged? But oh no. And I said, no, but you know what? It's fine now because I'm no longer with him. I don't want to be with him anymore. I'm good. Did you tell him that? I'm like, no, but I'm just gonna ghost him. Okay, Lerato, if that's what you say, it's okay. You're gonna ghost him. You didn't tell me that you didn't tell him that you don't want him. As crazy as he is, and you think he'll just think that you are ghosting him, you don't want him anymore. Good luck. She likes saying that. Good luck. And now I'm thinking. And by my room, I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? Let me respond to this guy. And I sent him a whole ass paragraph that fuck you. I don't want to be with you in my life. I don't need a guy like you in my life. You showed me who you are, and trust me, that's not someone I want to be with. I thought you were a good guy. I thought you were loving. I thought you were everything I wanted. But you clearly showed me your side, or I don't know, maybe you showed me who you really are. I wish you luck. I wish you all the best. This is, you know. And now he's calling. In my mind, I'm like, Auntie, what was he thinking that I'm not responding? I'm not even saying anything. Don't you think that that person wants nothing to do with you? Not that I tell you this, you start acting crazy, I start acting mad. He calls me. He like, dude, he calls me. Like, he calls me. He calls me. I think at that point there was like 32 missed calls. I'm like, perhaps, oh, what's in? Cool. He sends me a text on WhatsApp. He's like, you're not gonna do this. Pick up your phone right now, or I'll do something. Get on the tendencies, or I'll do something. Whatever you wanna do, do it, do it, do it. You know. He's like, oh babe, no. Why you? I'm like, this guy's crazy, guys. You go from to and after you're gonna do something, you're like, babe, let's talk, and I'm like, oh Jesus, oh my God, cray, you know, cool, and cool, no, I think you'd be like, I didn't even block him, you know, guys, I don't know, it's, I'm saying I don't want him, I'm saying I don't want to be with him anymore, but I'm not even doing anything about it, you know, like I don't want to let go. It's I'm not letting go that easy. Like it's not easy, you know. I'm not if I really don't want anything to do with if I really didn't want anything to do with him, I was gonna block him, right? I was gonna block his calls, right? I was gonna block him on social media, right? But then I'm not even doing all that. It's like him reaching out, calling me, and him texting me. I don't know. I'm just like it's giving me some type of feeling that okay, he's still here and he, you know, but in my mind I'm like, but I don't want this guy, but why don't I just cut it, like cut it just like that, you know? But I'm like, ish, it's not easy, man, and him calling me just makes things a bit easier for me. I don't know, but if he wasn't calling, I think I was going to be miserable. As much as I'm saying I don't want him anymore, I don't want to be with him anymore, you know? Okay, cool. I remember on Monday, okay, I didn't respond the whole week. Saturday, Sunday. Monday when I got to school, I remember. Monday when I got to school, because I didn't go to school on Monday. Monday when I got back to the commune, right, later on. Tomorrow, I was going to school. Cool. Then on Tuesday when I was going to school, Nomi was like, I'm not gonna wait for you because I need to go somewhere. So Tuesday one. Guy, I wanna stress. Cool. After class, I chill and wait for my landlady to come pick me up, right? When I go out the gate, because I normally used to go out the small gate at the top, because the big gates, it was more like for people with cars, right? So I go with the small gate. I don't know, something is telling me, look on your left, right? I looked on my left. And I can see the Beamer. He's parked there down, right? So as he's parking there down, as I'm walking out, he's coming, like he's driving slow, right? He's slowly approaching, right? And I got inside the car quickly. I got inside very quickly, and he paused. I remember when he paused, I looked at him and he looked at me. I just looked at him and he looked at me. And I looked forward and he drove off. Yo. God, See why I like during story times in the morning when no one is awake, or when the dogs are not barking, or before it gets chaotic in the house. Because every time I do story times, or when I try to do a story time, because I remember with my first story time, sorry, I know I'm drifting, but then this is annoying. Every time when I try to do story times, like my first attempt on thingy on Friday with my first story time, I tried doing it the day before, which was like later on. It was so loud, it was crazy, and I was like, no, I'll do it, I don't know, tomorrow in the afternoon. But I know, but in my mind I'm like, no, in the afternoon, that's when it gets crazy, and as it gets late, it gets crazier. So I decided now I'm gonna do my story times in the morning, if not in the morning, in the AMs. Honestly, guys, you know, Like today, see now it's only 18 minutes past 7. I literally started the story time at like 6:30. Imagine that. Imagine that. So now, but it's not even 8 or 9, but outside Jay, it's already crazy. But anyway, I hope it's not that loud. Anyway, back to it. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get scared now. What are you doing? Are you stalking me now? Like, what is this? Is it stalking? You know? I text my aunt immediately. I text my aunt. I'm like, I saw this guy. This guy was at school. Napakile fela. You know, like when I leave, he also leaves. There's an app. This app downloaded. If anything, it looked like you know, your taxifiers and your Ubers, but it was an app for you, like safety. Like I think it was something when safety. Jay, he's like, download this app, Namola. Namola has been there, guys. 2017, I remember my aunt was like, download this app, Namola. I downloaded it. You know, when you read there on how it works, and not ever cool. But still, I'm still not satisfied. Okay, what if in Joan Hogan's in your kokoloing? Yes, it's gonna track me, but then maybe he'll see that I'm doing something. He starts doing funny business to me. Cool, I get home. You know, when I get home, I started laughing. I'm like, is he stalking me? Like, I've never, ever, with all my relationships now, I've never, ever experienced a guy being this obsessed with me. Or just like trying so hard to be with me and just being like wanting my attention, or you know, like he was just too much, you know, like he loved me, you know. Or he was obsessed with me, I don't know, or he loved the things he did for me, I don't know. But yeah, but I believe that he did, because yeah. Okay, cool, right? And I laughed when I got home. I was like, you know what, I'm waiting for Palisa. I'm just gonna chill here, wait for Palisa and tell her that, hey, nang lo muntu alish, nang rich, as like something is just off. I don't know if he doesn't accept what I said to him, or he's just not right. Yes, I'm not over him. Of course, I'm still not over him, but cool. Wednesday, we always have meridian hours at school on Wednesday. So Wednesday meridian hour, I think meridian hour at school started at 1 o'clock, if not at 12. We had meridian hour on Wednesdays. So meridian hour is basically like entertainment hour, where our school like calls celebrities or anything that's happening, Jay, you know. Then we like, it's an hour of entertainment. We just dance and have a good time. There's like speakers, artists singing, performing, you know, your Miss South Africa's, like that whole situation. Cool. So at the meridian hour, I remember that Wednesday, I was like, I think I'm just gonna stay for meridian hour. I'll go to class at 1, you know. I'll miss the first half, but just go to class at 1. Cool. I remember we're having such a good time, and he texted me and I texted back. He's like, Lerato, Lerato, can I see you? Can I talk to you? You can even meet me somewhere if you're not comfortable. I'm like, I'm at school. I knock off at 4. You come through and pick me up. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, okay, cool. I'm not even telling Bali that I'm gonna go see that guy, because I know she's gonna start judging me. I know she's gonna start judging me and telling me, ooh, wa boela gape. First of all, so you can imagine when I have to tell her that I'm going to have a talk with this guy, because I know it's going to be that whole idea that you're going to have a talk with this guy because you want to get back with him. Even if I want to get back with him, I want to get my man, you know, in my mind. Cool. I'm like, you know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say I'm staying for accounting. hoping she won't say she's also staying for accounting. She's like, okay, I've been here the whole day of going to the house. I'm like, cool. They leave. I wait for my landlord to leave, and I'm like, are you still gonna come before I decide that I want to leave? It's not even far. I don't live far from my school, so even if he didn't come, it wasn't gonna be a problem. I was just gonna request home. Cool. He's like, he's on his way. Yo, lona pelo ka etsang ga ibetse 60 by 90. Like pelo ka etsang. Okay, cool. He gets there, picks me up, and I remember we went to a DCO. He ordered a drink, and I ordered like a pizza and a drink, and we started talking. He's like, I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for treating you like this. I know it's not good. I will never ever do that again in my life. He's like, he doesn't know what got into him. He is so sorry. And I'm like, okay, cool. After that, he's like, are you done eating? I wanna go shopping. Right? I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. We get there. Okay, he shops, he asks me. I remember, like, I was so nervous, guys. I never used to, like, want anything, right? Because it was, like, that whole idea of, if you're gonna buy me things, I'm gonna have to take them home, and at home they're gonna ask me, how did I get this? Where did I get this? Right? Sorry, guys. I had to go pee. Okay, you know, where was I? Mall. We get to the mall. Then after that, sorry, my coffee is so far. Yeah. So we get to the mall. Cool. So we get to the mall. Okay, he buys normally what he did, he'd like buy stuff for himself and ask me if I want anything. Because he liked buying stuff for me. But I never really wanted anything, because like it was that whole thing where like he'd buy stuff for me and I'd be scared to take them home. And every time I'm home, like my mom would ask me, but like, where did you get that? Where did you buy it? How did you buy it? You know? So I never really wanted anything. I was so dumb at that point, guys. Like, I never wanted anything. I didn't want anything. I didn't even ask him any. Like, he'd be like, do you need money for him? Like, I don't need money. Why would you give me money? Like, he's like, no, maybe if you want something for yourself. You know, I'm like, no, why would you give me money? You're not my dad. You know? They get it dumb sis. I'm like, no, I don't want your money. I'm like, no, I don't want your money. And I don't want you to buy anything for me. I'll accompany you. I don't want anything from you. Fine. Okay. Sharp. Then after that, we done. Then I go back to the house. When I go back to the house, it's been a while, honestly. But I wasn't planning on sleeping there. Right? I don't know. We just went back to the house and I didn't complain about it. Right? Okay, we got to the house. We chilled. He's like, are you gonna cook today or you gonna order? Because I want to cook my food. I'm like, just like that. I'm like, like, how does this work? First of all, how Shelly we rajol. And now you tell me what you tell me. We okay. You're not even waiting for me to like be like, okay, this is how I feel. And so me like going with you shopping and you take me out for lunch and we cool like that. Cool. I'm like, no, I'm going home. I don't even know I'm here even. He's like, oh, okay, I thought maybe you spend the night. You thought I'd spend the night. And like, Richard, sit down. I'm like, and like, Richard, sit down. You're not even sure if I want to be in a relationship with you anymore. You said your piece and you said your piece. I also have stuff to say. You're not even concerned about what I have to say. Or this is not about you. It's about me. But you're making this everything about you. You're not even concerned of how I feel and what happened the day and how I feel about what you did. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, he saw that I'm not saying anything. That's why he thought maybe I'm accepting his apology and what's or not. I'm like, okay, well, this is how I feel. But as I apologized and I don't want to I don't want to be without you. Guy, okay then. But if you dare, you will know me well. If you dare, you will know me. You will never hear from me again. See how you are now. See how you are now. You will never see me. You will cry. Okay. So I'm like, okay, please drop me off. I'll see you tomorrow. Are you on a pack? Okay, I'll see. Let's not push it. He's like, oh, okay. So we had a really, really nice relationship. I forgave him. Yes, I did forgive him. It was amazing. It was really, really amazing. He really made up for what he did that day, and I never saw that part again. Although when we like would argue, or if he didn't like something, he'll tell me and I'll apologize. If I didn't like something, he'd be like talk about it like as grown-ups, and okay, it's just sorry, you know. So it was like that whole situation, you know, and everything was just nice. Everything was just good, you know. So it was like that whole situation all over again. Back to spending more time with him, like Monday to Thursday, Friday and back, like how we used to do it. I'm starting to see things, know things more, and whatever. But it still hasn't changed the fact that I didn't ask him for money. I didn't ask him for anything. I never had that in me till today. Like, I don't think I can ask a man money. Okay, babe, can you please give me like 3K? I need to, like, no. Unless if maybe he gives it to me, you know. I remember he was like, I remember when he told me I never ask him for anything. Why don't I ever do that? And I told him that it makes me uncomfortable. I'm not used to asking for money, especially from like a guy. If I need something, if I want something, I go to my parents, and I think it's normal. At the age I was there, I was only 18, so it was normal for me. If I didn't have anything or if I needed money, I'd ask my parents, right? But then at that point, as time goes on, like I'm going out a lot, and like I told you, I used to go to training Thursdays. It was like I was always at Cocoon, you know. We go out with my friend like randomly. I'm getting used to that sense in life now. But still, I never asked him for money. There was this like in his bedroom, right? There was like this red box in his wardrobe, right? He like, I think do you see the tie pack box, how big the tie pack box is, and how deep it is? I was gonna say a shoe box, but no, it looked more like a tie packs box. So he used to put it right there at the corner of the bag. It was red. It had a lot of money. It had like a lot of cash, right? It was like a lot of 100 rands, 200 notes, a lot. And normally what I would do is when I had to go home, before I leave, I'd be like, babe, I need to go to the toilet before I leave. I'd go to that box, ne? Grab whatever I could and just put it in my bag and I leave. And that's what I always used to do, And yeah, it's stealing, I know. But then at some point he didn't notice it. He never noticed it until when I had to go somewhere. I think I pulled a lot. I don't know. Or unless if he always knew that I went to that box, and maybe he didn't say anything because I didn't ask him anything. So maybe he was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I don't know what he was thinking because he never asked me about it. He never said anything to me about it, Maybe he knew. He just didn't want to say anything. I don't know. But I remember there was a day where we were going somewhere with my friends, and I'm like, no, Rico Jika go rich, oh, kiloza masendeyana, you know. My friends said, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm coming. I'll tell you guys when I come back. So that's what I used to do. Go there, go to the red box, grab money. And I remember that time, that day when I said I went to go do it. I think that was the last that I did it. I think I grabbed too much. I don't know. Yeah. And he called me. He's like, babe. I'm like, yeah, he took money. I'm like, what? He's like, you took money. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, why don't you ask? Like, why didn't you ask? Like, why don't you ask? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, you know. And that was the last time I did. And either I never asked him for money. Fine. He used to like want us to go for trips, like to Cape Town, Durban, or wherever he's going, or when he plans trips with his friends. I never went, guys. Like I never like I said no. I always said no to everything. Literally, babe, I'm planning a trip. Let's go to Cape Town. No, I can't go. My parents ain't. He used to go, but now that I think about it, as grown as I am, and as I am now, Cape Town. Okay, on these trips, now someone you understand? Because all these men had their girlfriends with them. And then Natama I wonder Natama yes, he'd call me every day, video call me every time. But then in my mind, I'm like, guys, men, dangerous, you know. So I went, hey, sharp, but next day, it was fella that whole thing. As long as he went, I didn't go. I don't have to stress about anything. My parents and stuff. Yo, but I want to go to Cape Town, you know, those things. So he'd go alone. He'd leave me with the keys for if I want to go to the house. And I'd always be in the house if he goes on trips. Leave me with the key and go have a party with my friend at his house. We did that every time he went out for weekends or for holidays. We'd like go mosh at these plays. And he'd never notice anything. Because if he's coming back on Monday, if he's coming back on Tuesday, he'd find me alone on that day that he's coming back, because he'll tell me that he's coming back on this day. And he found me alone. And I'd be chilling there and just having a good time. We really had a good relationship. And when I had to move back home, it never really changed anything. I think that's when he realized that I didn't live there. Like live there. It was like, because when I was done with school, I left. And it's like, no, I'm leaving. I was only that side for school, and I said that it never really changed anything. I moved back home. That's when now he's realizing that, okay, no, you actually far. Krugersdorp is far, dude. You know, God, it's not really far. He's like, no, I'm used to you being just like 15 minutes away from me. Now that you're like far, like it takes like 45 an hour to come to my place, you know. And he's not someone that would come beside Kokachi. So he'd be like, is it safe? And I'm like, dude, relax. It's okay. I think throughout our relationship, we've been together before we broke up, we were in a relationship for, I think, 3 years. Yeah, I think we were in a relationship for 3 full years, in a couple of months, you know. He's only been this side twice, just twice, when he comes to drop me off. Or if got there, if I don't want to use an Uber and a Saver, he'd come and drop me off. Just twice, you know. And that 3 years, a lot, like, there was, you know how relationships are. You have your ups, you have your downs. You have your ups and you have your downs. And you know how men are, babe. But man, you could be in a relationship, you could be in a loving relationship. Men just have their thing of like, like, I don't get it, you know. 2019 was when everything was just, and bear in mind, we're not fighting. It's that whole situation where, like, I can't see him more and I can't sleep over, you know. I can only see him for a day, or if I sleep over, it has to be that day and I come back the next morning, you know. And to my parents, it'd be like, I went to Groove or something, you know. I can't be there for a weekend or 2 days or 3 days. No. Like, now I'm home. I'm with my parents, you know. it never used to be a problem for a couple of months, but I think 6 to 7 months down the line, he was starting to complain, you know? He was starting to complain about me not spending time with him, and me thinking that coming him once or twice in a week is spending time. He never really saw it that way. He just wanted not to complain or say much to avoid me getting angry, you know? And I was like, no, we can work on something. But then, okay, I can come and be there for like, okay, I can come in the morning and be like there for the whole day and I leave the next morning. He's like, no, that's not enough. I need you to come spend time with me, be here with me for the weekend. And that's something I couldn't do. I'm like, my parents would never allow that. Like, yeah, guy, where am I going? Okay, sharp. I'd go to a friend's place, but then it's different when I'm at a friend's place. It's different because my parents know that my friends are here in the hood. Why would I need to go sleep over for a weekend if my friends are just here in the hood? And my dad is a very difficult person. So it was like that whole situation. And I'm like, no, no, don't worry, we'll work on it. We'll go out more. And I remember at that point, he was starting to become an artist. Like he was rapping and all that thing. So they used to like book him at these clubs. So I'd go there and support him, be there. When he goes out, he'll tell me that he's performing where I'd go and just support him. He used to be out, and now he's starting to become out, or rather, now he's out now every weekend, with his friends. He's performing and whatever. During the week also, they'll book him like maybe like on a lousy Thursday or Wednesday, he'd go perform club on. And I'd still go and be with him. Of course I'm gonna come back the next morning. But then he never really used to complain anymore or say much. He just kept quiet about it, right? Then now we're not talking more. Like now he's stopping to communicate like a lot. We don't talk a lot. Like how when you're in a relationship how things are. You talk in the morning, in the afternoon, or he calls you during the day just to check up on you. And later on you guys are on a call, video call. We used to video call a lot. And it was like maybe like that morning in the morning, and that was it. And I didn't also like maybe like be like, you're not saying anything or you're not texting me. No, I just kept it at that. So 2 days became 4 days, 4 days became a week, 2 weeks, like we just didn't talk much anymore. Or sometimes he wouldn't like text me at all and not check up on me at all. Okay. And I didn't think anything. I didn't think maybe he's cheating on me, or he has a boyfriend, or he has a girlfriend, or anything. No, didn't think anything. I didn't think anything. Like someone what if nah. I was so chill about it. I trusted that man so much. Right then. But I trusted that man so much. I loved him. He's the first guy I actually loved. Like man, it's a different feeling from all these high school relationships. You get, like, yeah, I loved him. He was the first guy. He, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I experienced a lot of things with him. Everything. He was my first experience. You understand? So you can imagine how I felt about him. Okay, now I'm the one texting, calling, Alright, this whole thing is switched now. I'm not texting, calling. I'm like, are you okay? He didn't say anything. He's been busy. He's been making music. Making music. Okay, making music. He'd make music. He'd make like he'd make like music, nice music. I used to listen to his songs a lot. I still have his albums. I used to like listen to his music a lot. I have like a few songs I like, especially the one he made for me. They're really nice. A lot of them describe our relationship. It was really nice. The songs were amazing. Of course, I loved the ones he dedicated to me, you know. They're really nice. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know, it went downhill, honestly. Where it actually went downhill, you know, where like he he wouldn't say anything at all but post, and I'd be like, and what's happening? Now he's performing. I can see he's like posting videos when he's performing or when he's invited to parties or events or whatever. And I'm just there like, but he didn't tell me about this. Like, what's happening? I'd be like, why you can see your, you know, and I'd see there by the table there. I can see girls there by the table. Of course, his friends are there. So I'm assuming, okay, I can stalk on Yana say Sabon, you know, because every time I used to go out with them, their friends used to bring like different girls or anything. And in my mind, I'm like, I can stalk on Yana say Sabon. But I'm not thinking, what if when thing for, you know? I get it still. Cool. Sharp gets up for your own. And this one time, I get to talk, I felt one thing and he just snapped at me. You know? He told me shit like, and he needs like a God-fearing woman in his life. I'm always fighting him. I'm always complaining, you know? And I'm like, where is all that coming from? You know? Like, where's all that coming from? He's like, no, I fight a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. I'm always complaining or arguing. And I'm like, dude, come on, really? Like, I had to sense into like, I'm like, you're not making sense right now. You need a God-fearing woman. Am I not a God-fearing woman? Of course I'm a God-fearing woman. I go to church. I pray. You know? And he's like, no, he's not gonna say much because I'm gonna start fighting. And I'm like, oh, get off your new one. Oh, okay. 2 weeks after I got on Instagram, I never followed him on Insta. He followed me, but I didn't follow him back on Instagram. And I'm just checking. It's been 2 weeks. We haven't been speaking or anything. Let me check what's happening on like with his life. Go on Instagram, go on his page. I see a post of him and a girl. Okay. I screenshot the photo and I sent it to him. I'm like, what's this? You know? And he's like, what do you mean, what's this? I'm like, Richard, what is this? What is happening? And he never responded. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it, you know? And I sent him a long ass text. Sorry, dude, you should have just said, well, you know what? This is not working. Then just do funny stuff. Pull out funny business here. Where to go waiting or pilu. Where the snacks. That's why. So now I'm thinking, oh, that's why he hasn't been saying anything. That's why, you know, everything is just everything just keeps coming back. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he calls me. He's like, why the fuck would you ask me what's happening? And he's like, why the crap would you ask me what's happening? And I'm like, am I not allowed to ask you what's happening? And he's like, I told you that I need a God-fearing woman. No, apparently, di macarena. God-fearing, I said like a story. Or God-fearing, like, let me not speak bad or ill about other people, but honey, there, you know? I'm like, no problem then. I hanged up. Like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, did we just break up or what's happening? And we did, you know? Like, he sends me a text. He's like, he wishes me all the best. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It's it, oh. Yeah, like, and I'm just there like, what? No, 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 no. Like ya no kutlo ka ka like tlhaloganya ka ga e bereke sentle no. Like my like everything is happening. Everything is just crazy. I'm starting to cry. And that time I remember I was preparing to go to school, right? Like gacha. Like ke start go cha. Like ga ke tlhakanela. I'm about like I want to call my friend. You know, Kiri friend. I don't think I can go to school. He's like, what's happening? Come, you know. I'm like, no, gonna start. Gonna bothata. Get in a taxi. Bear in mind, guys, 2019. That's when I started a new qualification at Rosebank College in Braamfontein. So when I came back home, I get like a VC. So now I'm in Braamfontein. Go Rosebank College. I took a transfer, like IE one thing, you know. And yeah, I'm like, okay, to get a taxi. Yeah, I'm in a taxi, guys. I am crying. At that point, I don't even care who's there, who's not. I am crying. Yo, I can understand and I get like I can look a phone, ke sheba snippets le ano ka go ka understand go fa go tsagala yang, go tlhakana yang. Like I was so confused. My life. My life. Mare ke la utlwa ga go te moshimane. Ga itshola. Hey. Ga a itshola. Tla ikokobetsa. O tla ikokobetsa. Ya be ke mmontsha masefa ge yanong. Ya be ke mmontsha story yanong. Tables are turning. E be ke mmontsha story. Hey. Now he's starting to follow my aunt on Instagram, follow my brother on Instagram. I remember he also followed my aunt on Facebook, following my little sister on Instagram. You know, like that, he's just becoming crazy. He's calling me, he's threatening me that if I'm not going to respond to anything, if I'm not going to respond to any of his takes, if I'm not going to say anything, he's going to call my dad and tell my dad everything. He has my dad's number. Because normally sometimes when I called, I used to call my dad with his phone. Oh, Papa, I'm not going to come back. You know that. Like, not knowing that he'd saved them. Things are becoming true. Like, it's just now I'm confused. What is happening? What is happening? You know? Hey, guys, in it's like it's a lot, and I don't want to make the story time too long. I don't want to make my story times too long because now I'm going to be dragging and saying all these things. I'm just going to keep it short. I'll come back with a part 3. There'll probably be a part 4 and a part 5. I don't know because the story, like, it's a long one. It's a long one, you know. So I'll come back with a part 3, and I'll try and make it a bit detailed enough, you know, because sometimes, but still, my point is the fact that I can't get straight to the point without explaining what happened or whatever, because my story is it needs detail, you know. It needs me to explain in detail, because I could say, oh, let me jump to the most important parts, and it's not going to make sense. So I'll try my best to summarize everything, because the story is just too long, you know, because I'm waiting to have like a lot of parts, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Maybe I'll just keep it at part 4, you know, and avoid having like part 5. I don't know, but I'll see. I'll see. It's how the story goes will just, how the story unfolds will just be that whole situation. So thank you so much for watching. Till we meet again, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Guys, you guys are viewing my thingies, yes, I'm viewing my vlogs, and now that I'm starting with story time, but you guys are not following. Why the I mean, you guys are not subscribing. Why are you not subscribing to my channel? Or don't you like me? Or am I boring? But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for liking and watching my vlogs. Much appreciated. Till we meet next time. Bye. Don't worry, I'll come back with another one.
Sweet on deposit, elevator up to the room, shower up and then we hit the club. Touchdown, gotta see.